Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of April 14th. You have the sun in the anchor. I'm using the Gilded Lenormand here for the first row. In Lenormand, we read combinations, and the sun in the anchor is actually very positive. The sun is, just like the tarot, the sun is pretty much the most positive card in the Lenormand, so there could be a lot of happiness coming in for you. Funny enough, you have the Four of Wands, and the Anchor, the Anchor is kind of like one of those cards where it can be good or bad. It can say that you're stuck to something or you're stuck in a situation, but also with the Sun, the Sun is what would make it positive in this reading, and it with the Four of Wands as well, it definitely makes sense that you could be committing to something new. Now, the Sun, of course, the Four of Wands doesn't have to be love. This could just be you committing to happiness. And we also have the Seven of Wands here, which is kind of like a double commitment in some ways. So a lot of you could really be committing to some sort of change with the Death card showing up here. You could also be committing to something you've been waiting for with the Hangman. The Hangman makes a lot of sense. Everybody has had the Hangman this week so far. And with all the retrograde energy coming to an end, basically last week, depending on when you're watching this video, if you're watching it the week of the 14th, then Venus went direct on the 12th. If you're watching it before the 12th, then Venus is not direct yet. But if you are, then the Hangman can say that you are finally feeling set free, or you're finally feeling like you can move forward. You have the Four of Wands, the Five of Swords, and the Devil, all coming up in the area of your current general energies. The Four of Wands, of course, can represent marriage or commitment. I feel that you are just committing to something that you've been waiting to do. Whatever it is, it's going to be different for all of you. You have the Hangman. So the Hangman, the reason that he's able to move forward is because he has finally gained enlightenment. It's kind of funny because, I feel like some of you have literally said, I'll start this after the retrograde. So, again, if you have something that you've been thinking to yourself, I will start this after the retrograde, then you literally could just be getting started on something this week, which, again, makes a lot of sense. Feels good to me, just the week in general. There are some good cards here, and you have a lot of, happiness showing up as well. So the Four of Wands can just be a card of freedom. And it can say that you're setting yourself free from things that have been keeping you stuck, and it's kind of popping into my head. You have the Five of Swords. I think that a lot of people are being asked to walk away from things that are toxic, plain and simple, with the Devil. The month of April and May, especially the first half of May as well, are really good for healing, feeling better just in general, for doing things that cause healing, all that other good stuff. So, I think it would just be a great time to heal, rest, relax, recover. Five of Swords we look at as a card of separation or winning at all costs, things like that. But I really don't get that. I feel with the Devil here, sure, if you have a devil in your life, you could be walking away from a person who is a devil. But I don't feel this is only just love or, a person. It doesn't even have to be love. It could just be a toxic person in your life. The interesting thing that stands out to me is we have the Seven of Wands and the Magician. These are probably your two most important cards in this reading. Seven of Wands is putting up boundaries, kind of like drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is what I'm willing to accept in my life. This is what I'm not willing to accept in my life. The Magician is a card of reinvention. Most people look at him as a card of manifestation or, kind of like as above, so below, law of attraction. But really, he has to change to be able to get what he wants. And I kind of feel a Seven of Wands is saying that what I said at the beginning of the reading. It's like you are committing to a change with that Magician. It's like you're becoming the thing that you want to be. I feel like I say this to you in every single reading. So, or I think your past readings have really been saying you need to be who you want to be before you can be it, right? And I feel this is you committing to that, which is great. With the Four of Wands, you have the Knight of Wands. I just feel in general that this time is much more playful, much more fun. I would embrace the spontaneous energy. If you just feel like you want to go on an adventure, if you want to just go have fun or, do something nice for yourself, I definitely think that would be an excellent idea with all the cards that are showing up here. You have the Ten of Cups, which is really just a card of choosing happiness, doing things that bring happiness into your life. So I think all that would be really good for you. With the Five of Swords, you have the Death card. Yes, a change. Everything I just said. So I don't know. This card is just repeating the message that I already said. And again, we have the two pillars from the moon back here, and those two pillars, the sun is coming up between those two pillars. So I really like the death card sometimes, because I feel that sometimes it can say that you are entering into a sun period, like you're entering into a period of time of more like love, joy, happiness, peace, just, all around good feelings. And having the sun card in the Lenormand definitely says that is true. With the devil, you have the star. Yes, love it. The star is, of course, hope, faith, and renewal. In some ways, this might sound lame, Taurus, but, this reading kind of is just saying to me that you are feeling pretty good this week. Like, you are going to enjoy the week. There's, like, really nice energy here for feeling good, and I would double down on that energy. I would make sure to nurture the energy of, feeling supported, feeling healthy, getting healthy with the star card, all that, really. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, here you go. You have this dolphins. It says playfulness and cooperation. Playfulness is definitely a key word here in this reading. You have this key card. It says lock and unlock on it. I feel like you need to unlock your playfulness. Like, you need to be more playful. We start with that hermit. And, the hermit, he is in isolation. I always say that it's very tempting to stay in isolation with the hermit, because he is kind of protected in isolation. It's like, yeah, he's alone. He could be feeling lonely, but at the same time, he also knows that, people and situations in life can hurt. And so sometimes I feel like the hermit is trying to protect himself maybe a little bit too much by staying at the top of the mountain. And his job is to come down from the mountain and shine his inner light. He has the star in his lantern here, but he is kind of like keeping it trapped in that lantern, and he needs to shine that star all over the place. He needs to, show the world what he's made of, but he can't really do that from the top of the mountain. And then we go over here to the Ten of Cups. So Ten of Cups is definitely like a very much a socializing card, and needing to, socialize, needing to go be with people and all that other good stuff. So I definitely feel the hermit is saying it's like time to come down from the mountain. The other thing about the hermit is everything about him represents wisdom. He's got the gray cloak, the gray beard, he looks old, all that. So, it can say that you've gained a lot of wisdom, but, you need to use that wisdom for your own success. On top of all that, we go down to the magician. And so the magician can represent hidden talents, gifts, skills, or abilities. And, with the hermit, it could say, he has that star in his lantern. That star might be a hidden talent, gift, skill, or ability that he needs to use to be more successful. You have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, card of conviction. Seven of Wands says when you know that something is for you, then it's for you. It's a card of really believing that something is for you. So you have to believe that you can be the magician in this reading. You have to believe that you can just be the person or the thing that you want to be. The Seven of Wands is also a card of commitment, and so, it's kind of a card of commitment. He's committing to his position at the top of this hill here, but it's almost like he's claiming it. And that's kind of like the energy I get here with the magician, is that, it's like sometimes I think we say we want to do something or we want to, like, be something when we grow up, but we're kind of like, whatever, we don't really commit to it. Even the star, it's like the star is a good card, but she's only dipping her toe in the water here on the star. I always say with the star that we have to like dive into the deep end. We have to like cannonball into the deep end, right? And really commit to something. And that is popping into my head with this Seven of Wands. It's like saying, if you're going to do something, go all the way, go all in, 110%. And if you do that, that's where success will come from. But if you don't, then not. Next, you have the Page of Pentacles. The sun in the Lenormand, your very first card, can sometimes represent news or like good news coming in for you. Most people consider the knights in the tarot to represent news or receiving news. I consider the Page of Pentacles to also be a messenger. So if you're waiting for good news or, if you're waiting to hear back some news, then it's definitely popping into my head that you could be getting news with this card. We also have the go over here to the Knight of Cups, and we also go up to the Two of Cups. So obviously, if you're looking for new love, definitely could be love coming in for you. There you go. Page of Pentacles usually starts as communication. The other thing that I'm getting here is that This could be either fire and earth really stand out to me. You do have water here as well, but for whatever reason, fire and earth are really standing out to me as far as love is concerned. Yes, with the Hermit, you have the Eight of Wands. I don't know. I've been saying this to you since, like, through all of March, and apparently I'm going to say this to you in every single April reading as well. This is about speaking up. Remember, I've been saying this to you. This is the caged bull energy, the Hermit. And so the Hermit is like the caged bull wanting to break free. The Eight of Wands is speaking up, sharing your voice, saying what you have to say, and not holding back for any reason. And but sometimes we don't have to say things with our words, right? We can say things with our actions. And I've been getting that for you for weeks. Like, I really feel that energy for Taurus, where it's kind of like that unleash the beast type of energy, Taurus. Like, don't hold back if you have things to say, but also if there are things you want to do or whatever, like, just do them and don't ask for permission. Star card dipping her toes in the water, that's kind of like asking for permission, right? And I really feel this is saying, the whole reading is basically saying no asking for permission to do things, like just go and do them. And that's where the success will be. Eight of Wands, we cannot pull in two directions. We have to only go in one direction. And so to do that, we have to make the full commitment, right? And we can't be thinking like negative thoughts, or we can't be taking negative actions or being lazy or anything else with the Eight of Wands. So that's definitely the energy I get off that card. With the Seven of Wands, what do you know? You have the Four of Wands. Whenever this happens in a reading where I get the Four of Wands and then like the Seven of Wands, I already said that I felt like both these cards were talking about commitment. And so when I have a repeating card like this, it just tells me that is the message, that you have to make a commitment to something, or you are making a commitment to something. Again, this doesn't even have to be love. Like, sure, your last row looks amazing for love, but I really feel the Four of Wands is you setting yourself free. Freedom has been a long-term thing for you, Taurus, because of Uranus and Taurus. I believe Uranus and Taurus is all about Taurus building something that could lead to long-term freedom. That could be financial freedom, could be any type of freedom, really. But I feel a lot of you have been like working on creating more freedom in your lives. And again, this would kind of represent setting yourself free. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the Four of Swords. Yes, healing, right? So all three of these cards, Devil, Star, Four of Swords, they all kind of represent needing to heal or needing to go through some sort of healing. Now, the Four of Swords is a good card because there's a person right here who's blessing another person in that stained glass window. He is like hoping or praying to receive a blessing. And so a lot of you could be receiving the blessing of getting a break or being able to rest, relax, recover, which I think would be awesome for you, Taurus, like taking some time for yourself. Happiness, it seems very important, but in this reading, but with the Ten of Cups, like it's coming up in the good stuff, which is great. But the thing about the Ten of Cups is we have to choose happiness. We have to like do things that make us happy, right? Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Receive card and this Strength card. You could literally be receiving strength, but I feel like if you're receiving strength, that you are receiving strength from yourself. It's like, if you've ever done something crazy in your life and like created success, it's going to give you a bunch of confidence, right? And I kind of feel that's what this is saying, is like some of you could be doing something this week that maybe you don't think is possible, or, it could just be like a little bit hard, something that you're working on or creating. And I feel that this is saying this is where you will receive strength, is from doing something that is like hard. You have the Death card, the Magician, and the Hangman. You are changing. I feel like you already know this because the Hangman basically tells me that you already know that you are changing. Sometimes I feel with the Death card that, he has this white rose on his banner here, and the white rose on his banner represents the light at the end of the tunnel. So for a lot of you, it's like you could be getting to the end of a very long journey, or you could be getting to the end of some, obstacles and challenges that you've been dealing with. And, again, I just kind of feel that light at the end of the tunnel energy for you here, Taurus, which again, that's not really a bad thing. If anything, I feel that's a good thing, like a good message. It says, that you're kind of getting over some challenges, which is great. You have the Magician. I would say this is like your first most important card here. I think the Seven of Wands is also going to be important for you this week, but the Magician, he has this snake wrapped around his waist, and the snake wrapped around his waist represents the Ouroboros, or, can represent reinvention. And so I feel like you're really like stepping into your power here, Taurus, and a lot of you could be kind of like reinventing yourselves, or putting yourself in positions where you are seen as being different, or you're stepping into like the person that you really are. So again, this is like a deep change that is happening here for you, but I think it's more of a personal change. As I said, like, sure, yeah, love shows up in this reading, but isn't that the way? Usually, if we have a big change and we are becoming better, then we attract someone better. So, again, it kind of makes sense that, love might not necessarily be the focus, but, could definitely be a side effect of the changes that you're making in your life. And that is awesome. We also have the Magician pointing towards the Knight of Cups. So, number one, this could say that you've asked for love and you're attracting it. Number two, the Knight of Cups can be a dream. So the Knight of Cups is normally like looking into that cup. He's scrying. He's imagining his future. And so if there's something that you're trying to manifest, I definitely am getting, the Magician has the ace versions of all the suits in front of him. And so it basically says he has to make sure that he's using the right tool for the job. And this could say that, like, if you've been trying to manifest, work with the energy. It's like if you've been trying to manifest with your emotions, maybe you need to use your wands and you need to get more creative. Or maybe you need to use the swords and inject more logic into whatever you're working on. Or maybe you need to communicate about it more, right? It's going to be different for all of you, but sometimes I feel the Magician is saying just change your approach and you will find more success. You have the Hangman. So the Hangman is in Hangman mode. It comes up a lot after retrogrades, like, the period of time we're in right now. So he's hanging from the tree of knowledge and wisdom. He's put himself on pause, but now his head is glowing and he has gained enlightenment. After Mercury retrograde, usually we have we've been on pause during the retrograde, and after the retrograde, we've gained answers and we can move forward. So again, Hangman makes perfect sense. With the Death card, you have the Two of Cups twice in the same area of the reading here. So Two of Cups can definitely be a perfect match. Two of Cups is usually someone who's different than your usual type. So, if you're looking for love, this definitely could be a strong connection. You also have the Page of Pentacles, and on the Two of Cups, they have the Staff of Hermes in between them. And the Staff of Hermes is Mercury, which represents communication. So, this could definitely be a person that starts with communication. Yes, with the with the Magician, you have the Wheel of Fortune, which would be you attracting fortunes, or you attracting a change in your fortunes, and that is definitely possible here. Now, I'm not going to, like I said a second ago, or a couple minutes ago, I'm not saying this is going to be easy. This isn't going to magically happen, and, the key word here is change. So if you aren't doing anything to change, then nothing is going to happen. Again, I feel like I shouldn't have to say this, but tarot can't make anything happen for you. Tarot is loose guidance at best. And so, again, you have to put the work in to create this change. But if you do it, it'll be worth it. And you are going to have to become a different person, right? With the Magician. It's like, a simple example is if we want to make money, but we struggle to make money, then we are not the type of person that can make money, right? So we have to make changes to become the type of person that would make money. So we have to adopt good financial habits. We have to learn about money. We have to find ways to make more money, and we have to actually do it, believe it or not. So again, that is a simple explanation. Again, you're all different, so you're all trying to do different things in your life. But whatever you're trying to do, I always say the easiest way to manifest is to adopt habits of success. That's it. With the Hangman, you have the Four of Pentacles. Yes, get out of Hangman mode, basically. Sometimes, again, a Hermit, Four of Pentacles, we can hold on too tightly to a comfort zone. So being on pause can be a comfort zone, believe it or not. And I feel like this is saying, get out of a comfort zone. Next, in your outcome for the good stuff, you have this Work Through Your Fears card, and this card that says time to take a breath. Yes, definitely time to take a break, or to take breaks in general. Rest, relax, recover, heal. Do whatever you can for yourself to, get better, to put yourself in a better position. I think all that would be really good for you with these cards here, Taurus. and staying healthy and all that other stuff. Also, working through your fears. It's like to become a different person. It is scary. It is scary to adopt new money habits. It is scary to try new love habits. Right? It's like obviously if you're single and you want love, but you're not going out in public, no one is going to see you with their eyeballs, so they're not even going to know that you exist. Maybe you're afraid to go outside, and that could be a fear that you need to face. So, again, I would do it because the energy exists. You have the Two of Cups, the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. Two of Cups is a perfect match. So if you want love, looks really good. The Two of Cups can also be a perfect match between you and your higher self. So if you are, changing in some way, this could say that your higher self is guiding you through these changes and is going to help you through these changes as well. So I feel pretty good about this. I think that, there could be some positive changes through your higher self, and I would take advantage of it. You have the Ten of Cups. Ten of Cups kind of represents fortune after difficulty, especially with the Wheel of Fortune touching it right next to it. Then it definitely can represent, good things coming in for you after a difficult period of time. Of course, it's an amazing love card. So if you're attracting love, you could be attracting a person that you have a family with or that you will have a family with. On top of all that, it is a card of choosing happiness. These 10 cups exist above their heads, and these people are standing in the real world. But, the whole point of the card is that they are choosing to be happy. They are doing things that make them feel happy. And that's exactly what I would do with this card. Make sure to choose happiness with the 10 of cups. You have the Knight of Cups. So again, if you want love, definitely could be like a knight in shining armor coming in for you. Even if you don't want love, 10 of Cups, Star, the Knight of Cups can all be you focusing on some sort of dream or a wish, something that you're trying to create. Again, your answer is very simple in this reading. It's to commit to a new you. With the Magician, all you have to do is adopt the habits, adopt the belief systems, adopt the mindset of the thing you want, and to speak it into existence, right? We have the Eight of Wands right here. Eight of Wands is an amazing card for manifestation. All we have to do is speak as if we already have something and take the right actions, because Eight of Wands is movement. Those wands are shooting in a direction, so you have to move towards the things you want. With the Two of Cups, you have the Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion and growth. It's also a card of progress. So again, a lot of you could be progressing. I also get freedom here. Again, Four of Wands twice is definitely looking to create more freedom in your life, or is, kind of trying to set yourself free from things that have kept you stuck for a long time. So a lot of you could be looking for freedom. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles in the good stuff would be coming out of the cold, which definitely makes sense. You definitely could be attracting a new connection, or you could be finding a new person here with the Five of Pentacles. Maybe I kind of also get the feeling that maybe some of you have been single for a long time. So if you have been single for a long time, this could definitely feel like you are coming out of the cold. With the Knight of Cups, here you go. You have the Page of Pentacles. So like I said, Page of Pentacles twice. Definitely could be communication or a message from a person. Usually Two of Cups, we start with communication with a person, right? And Page of Pentacles, I also look at as a card of kind of, starting with communication. So, plain and simple, it looks to me like this is starting with communication. You have this Casket card. It says, someone going out of your life for the end of a situation. Five of Swords, Devil. You definitely could be cutting something toxic out of your life. I don't even think this says that you're necessarily cutting a person out. Like I said, I don't really feel that Devil is necessarily a person. It could just be like a bad habit, or maybe it doesn't even have to be anything bad. You could just be trying to improve yourself, or, trying to improve your health or whatever. So, whatever it is, I think that you're ending it. You have this Tower. It says, solid foundation, success with effort. What do you know? I basically said this whole entire reading that you have to put, this isn't necessarily going to be easy. I feel like I shouldn't have to spell this out, but I do. So sorry for the people that just get it, which is most of you, really. There's only a very small percentage of people that, it's like I can hear their brains rattling around from here. So there you go. But, what I would say is I think effort is necessary. You have this older woman card. It says dealings or relationships with an older woman. You also have this boot, and you can't make this up, Taurus, because it says increase your efforts if you want to achieve your goals. Yes, definitely more effort. And here's the thing. We are definitely not in a time of hard work. I say to everyone, I would be avoiding hard work right now. I said in the 2025 yearly readings that the key word for 2025 and probably 2026 is efficiency. So we should be looking for the most efficient ways to do things and not burning ourselves out. Like, it is a bad year this year to burn yourself out because you will get burnt out. That's why, right? So I think this is saying increase your efforts on like smart things that are actually working and pay attention to what is actually working as well. You have this flag. It says, do not be tempted to lower your standards. Again, I would say for the next 14 years, Neptune and Aries. Neptune and Aries is not really lowering your standards, but I think maybe the problem for you with Neptune and Aries will be that if like something is missing, then you're going to feel it, like love, money, goals, wishes, whatever, and you might be tempted to look for a quick solution, or you might meet some random bozo off the street that is definitely a bozo, and this says like, no, don't lower your standards. It's not worth it. You have this knot. It says unsuccessful plans, magician. If one way to do something doesn't work, try something else, right? And that's what I would do. So I love this reading for you, Taurus, though. Really good, really happy as well, which is nice. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.